Here's a more detailed overview of Johann Sebastian Bach's life and contributions. Early life and family background. Johann Sebastian Bach's early life was deeply rooted in music and marked by a series of influential familial connections. Born in Eisenach, Germany, on March 31, 1685, he was nurtured in a family where music was not just a vocation, but a cherished tradition. The Bach family's musical lineage extended across generations, tracing back to Bach, Johann Sebastian's great-great-grandfather, who was recognized as a talented musician. Johann's upbringing was profoundly shaped by the rich musical environment cultivated by his father, Johann Ambrosius Bach. His father held the position of a town musician and was also responsible for overseeing the local musicians' guild. Under his father's guidance, Johann was introduced to the world of music from an early age. He learned to play several instruments, including the violin and keyboard, and was exposed to the works of composers from various traditions. However, tragedy struck when Johann was just 9 years old. Both of his parents passed away, leaving him orphaned and facing an uncertain future. This loss would have a lasting impact on his life, influencing his resilience and determination to succeed despite adversity. Fortunately for Johann, his older brother, Johann Christoph Bach, stepped in to care for him. Johann Christoph was an accomplished musician and composer, and he played a pivotal role in shaping Johann Sebastian's musical development during these formative years. He provided his younger brother with not only a home but also a nurturing environment where Johann Sebastian could continue his musical studies. Living with his older brother, Johann Sebastian Bach was immersed in music more than ever before. Johann Christoph, who was an organist, introduced Johann Sebastian to the organ and further honed his keyboard skills. This period of mentorship and guidance significantly influenced Johann Sebastian's musical direction, helping him develop a strong foundation in keyboard and composition that would later become integral to his own musical achievements. Johann Sebastian Bach's early exposure to music through his family, along with the support and mentorship of his older brother, laid the groundwork for his remarkable musical career. These early experiences instilled in him a deep love for music and a commitment to carrying on the family's musical legacy. As he grew older and embarked on his journey as a composer and performer, Johann Sebastian would draw from these roots to become one of the most iconic and influential figures in the history of classical music. Education and formative years. Under the tutelage of his older brother, Johann Christoph Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach's musical education expanded significantly. Johann Christoph's influence exposed Johann Sebastian to a diverse array of musical styles and traditions, setting the stage for his future as a versatile and innovative composer. Johann Sebastian's education under his brother was well-rounded, encompassing multiple facets of music. He delved into the intricacies of keyboard's performance, mastering both the harpsichord and the organ. This early training laid the foundation for his virtuosity on these instruments, which would become a hallmark of his musical career. In addition to keyboard's proficiency, Johann Sebastian explored the realm of violin playing. He gained a deep understanding of the instrument's expressive capabilities and technical demands, which later translated into his compositions that featured violin parts. This multifaceted training allowed him to incorporate violin elements into his works, showcasing his expertise as both a composer and a performer. Johann Sebastian's exposure to vocal music was equally significant. His studies included voice training, enabling him to grasp the nuances of vocal techniques and the art of choral composition. This knowledge would prove instrumental in his later compositions, especially in his choral works and sacred cantatas. One of the pivotal points in Johann Sebastian's education came during his time at the Michaelis Monastery School in Lauenkorteneberg. Here, he further honed his skills and broadened his musical horizons. Lauenkorteneberg was a hub of musical activity and exposure to a wide range of compositions from various composers. This environment provided Johann Sebastian with the opportunity to immerse himself in the works of contemporaries and absorb different musical influences. During this period, he would have encountered compositions from German, French, and Italian composers, each contributing their unique styles and techniques to the musical landscape of the time. Johann Sebastian's exposure to these diverse influences fueled his creative imagination and contributed to the eclecticism that characterized his compositions. Overall, Johann Sebastian Bach's early education was marked by a rich tapestry of experiences. His immersion in keyboard, violin, and vocal training, coupled with exposure to a variety of musical traditions, laid the groundwork for his ability to seamlessly weave together different elements in his compositions. This versatile training, combined with his innate musical genius, allowed him to transcend the boundaries of his time and create a body of work that remains celebrated and influential to this day. Early professional life. In his early adulthood, Johann Sebastian Bach embarked on a journey that would see him holding significant musical positions and establishing himself as a skilled composer and organist. His experiences during this period shaped his artistic identity and laid the groundwork for his future achievements. Bach's first notable position was as an organist in Arnstadt, where he served at the new church, New Kirche. This appointment marked the beginning of his professional career, and it was here that he demonstrated his exceptional talent as an organist and composer. His innovative approach to music, characterized by intricate counterpoint and harmonies, began to gain attention. However, Bach's innovative style often clashed with the more conservative preferences of his employers and the church authorities in Arnstadt. His inclination towards complex compositions and his desire to experiment with new musical techniques occasionally led to disagreements. These conflicts revealed a tension between tradition and innovation, a theme that would recur throughout his career. Bach's time in Arnstadt was also marked by a series of compositions that showcased his growing mastery of keyboard music and intricate organ works. Notable among these works is the Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which has become one of his most recognizable compositions. Following his stint in Arnstadt, Bach's career took him to Weimar, where he assumed the role of court musician and organist in 1708. During his years in Weimar, he was exposed to a more cosmopolitan musical environment. This exposure enriched his musical palette by exposing him to a broader range of styles and influences. While in Weimar, Bach composed some of his most important keyboard works, including the famous Brandenburg concertos. Despite his ongoing creative exploration, Bach faced challenges in finding a perfect balance between his innovative musical ideas and the expectations of his patrons. The tension between his artistic vision and the practical demands of his positions prompted him to continually refine his approach to composition. Bach's unwavering commitment to his craft and his ability to adapt while staying true to his unique style were key factors in his development as a composer. In these early years, Bach's determination to push musical boundaries and pursue excellence led him to develop a distinctive voice that would eventually revolutionize the musical landscape.